All right. Ready to go?
Yeah,
Ready
let's
to do
dive
this?
right in.
Okay, so a couple disclaimers so you guys know. I'm coming off of being sick pretty much all week last week, and I think you're just starting to feel it.
You've
been fighting it for a couple days.
Yeah.
But you woke up today and you're like, hey.
Yeah, we've both been sick, but he had it worse right off the bat, like the first few days. And mine was a little more mild. And then kind of yesterday was when the headache.
Yeah. And you didn't want to get out of bed.
I didn't want to get out of bed. This morning, I barely got out of bed like 45 minutes ago.
Yep.
And yesterday I slept in until almost 10. So it's just, the last 2 days have been more
intense. More
of the
hit.
energy, the energy hit, the like pain, the body aches. You had all that right away.
I had all of that right away, yeah.
And now his is clearing out, so you might hear him.
You're gonna hear me doing that every once in a while.
For me, I'm draining, so I'll probably be stepping away to blow my nose.
Covering your mic and blowing your nose.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's the disclaimer. And
that out of the way, it's
that's the little update of what's
we
been
weren't
going
on last week because of your birthday.
My birthday.
So happy birthday.
Thank you.
We had a great weekend, which is where we think the sickness came from.
We peopled.
We peopled a lot last weekend and
a lot for us.
Got sick afterwards.
A little for other people, a lot for us.
It might have been for we don't people a lot. Most of our peopling is you guys. Virtual, or when we do people, it's usually an event.
At a conference.
Or something like that, right? That's that. Most of our peopling in a year is with
our community,
our
fam,
right?
Yeah.
So we peopled with normal people and got smacked in the face. So
I got to give a little shout out to my mom because this little set I'm wearing right now is a birthday gift from her.
Cuteness.
Bronson's loving it.
I'm loving it. I love any time you
wear
anything.
Whenever I show my legs.
When you wear or don't wear anything, I'm happy.
So thanks, Mom. I love it.
All right. We had a conversation. Oh, before we get going, don't forget, ask questions, engage.
Karen says, are you calling us abnormal?
Yes, you are not abnormal. You are extraordinary.
People. Yes, you're not
extraordinary.
Normal in all the right ways.
Correct. All of the right ways. Keto rehab. Got to find this chat so when people's.
So as I sip my coffee, we need to remember to remind everyone that if you listen, participate, stay till the end,
and ask questions. That's the key. Asking questions
that relate.
Right.
At least
don't ask us
to the topic.
Don't ask us about whether the moon landing was real or fake. It has nothing to do with what we're talking about.
Then you could win a free bag of Keto Brains, the best coffee creamer ever. Num 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 nums.
All right. You've been struggling lately. Is that the right word? Challenged?
Yeah, I guess I could say struggling. Struggle bus.
And that's where
been on the struggle bus.
And that's where this conversation is coming from.
Yes.
I went through this majorly, I guess, in the grand scheme of things. It was a couple years ago. When we've talked about it in the past, we've talked about the success trap.
So
right? We've talked about different areas of you get to a certain point and then you're like, now what?
What is the topic of our chat today?
What did I call it? I called it sometimes it just isn't worth it.
There's the little spoiler about what we're about to talk about.
So what does that mean?
How many times did I just say about?
About
what we're about to talk about.
Are you from Canada?
About. I love my Canadians. Poutine? I have a lot of Canadian ladies in my community. I love y'all so much.
So what does that mean, and why would we say that sometimes it just isn't worth it, right? Isn't it always worth it? Isn't trying to get somewhere in your journey and the whole reason you're doing this the end results, what you're trying to get to should always be worth it. But that doesn't mean where you're at right now matches what is worth it for you right now.
Or where you're trying to go.
or where you're trying to go.
Really.
Right? Or the things you have to do
More
to get
where
there,
you're
right?
going, right? What are you trying to achieve, and does that align? This is the conversation. Yes, we had this
Right.
conversation a year ago, New Year's for you.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then somewhat again this New Year's, a little bit.
Well, we kind of go through it. It's a process that we kind of look at every year.
Yeah. Yeah.
The big one for me was a few years ago. I guess it's a few years now because I started talking about it a while ago. It's probably 3 years now, not 2. When I was looking out the window, remember we had this conversation. I was looking out the window and I was just like, why am I trying so hard?
What am I doing? Yeah.
What am I doing? Like,
Well,
I'm here. I've done all of the things I said I wanted to do, and I'm still acting
Yes.
as if I have all of this. Like, I'm stressing out over things that I've already gotten where I want to go. That's
And that's really-
reframing and redetermining and what am I doing?
Well, I would say that this topic would resonate a lot. I mean, it will resonate regardless of where you are, but especially for those who have achieved some level of success in your health journey,
Yeah.
right? If you are now healthy, you've gotten to a place where you are healthy, and essentially this is maintenance for you. You could maintain where you are for the rest of your life.
Before you get into that, I want to caveat or just add a context to this. We're going to talk about some specific things like you've reached your goals or you've gotten to a certain, right? But the general idea is something has changed and you have to make a decision about how you respond to that change.
How you move forward from here.
That's the general overarching thing,
So
right?
this could apply to anything.
And this could mean you've reached your goal, which means your whole context changes. It could mean something happened at work and now you have to move. There's all sorts of things that could play into this.
You've reached your initial goal.
Something
and now
has
you're trying to
changed
figure out
and you
what
have
your
to
next
respond.
goal is. And really, especially in that case, the way that we're discussing it today, it's very much applicable to you've reached a goal. And for so many of you, it's this, you're striving for something and then you realize, wait a minute. What should the goal be now? Is this still relevant for me? Is this still, it's not even just relevant, it's beyond that. Is it worth it?
Well, here's something I'm thinking about is the way words, obviously, goal versus the impact, I guess, maybe, right? So a lot of us will say the goal is weight loss, but then you go through this thing. Maybe you wanted to lose 50 pounds, 100 pounds, and you lost 50. And in that process, you've also reduced inflammation, you've reduced medication, you've gotten in shape, you can do more things. You realize my life is completely different before I reach the goal. So I'm no longer as motivated to lose 100 pounds because my life is amazing right now without having lost 100 pounds. So the draw, the pull of that goal.
At that point is, was it really about the 100 pounds?
Exactly.
Right? Is that still
relevant?
Relevant.
Is that still, because when I think about what I want to do next, the 100 pounds doesn't really motivate me anymore.
Yes.
And so in order for me to keep doing what I'm doing or to even get better in some other way, where do I go? What is it that I'm looking at?
Is this the route?
Is this the route? And here's how you know that you may be coming up on this. Is it getting harder to do the things you know you need to do even after you've been doing them for a long time?
Right.
Because that's what you talk about. What you're
let's give them because we're kind of like ghosting.
No. Let's talk. This is something you're dealing with. God, I love your forearms.
Ladies, get yourself a man who gets turned on by veins.
I love it.
And muscles and calves. The things he says about the most random muscles, and I'm like,
musclies.
I'm pretty happy about that. Okay, so the whole conversation that prompted this discussion is I am seriously debating how much I really want to compete, and go through another competition prep and basically take it to the next level. Because for competitors, you're healthier essentially in your off season. You're healthier when you're not dieting down for a competition. Your healthiest should be, I should say that, because that's not necessarily the case with all people. Some people let things go way too much in the off season and they are not
Right.
healthy, and they go
Your
to the other
healthiest
extreme.
should be in your off season.
Yeah, there are many competitors that are going from one extreme to the other, and it's very disordered, and the competition itself is always trying to get back to being lean when they've let themselves go and they don't have a basis, right? But for those competitors, athletes in the sport who are longevity based in the sport, they've been in the sport a long time, they've learned how to pace themselves, and they've improved year after year. Essentially, it's the best in the sport, right? Who are not just going to extremes for that one show and then, not really developing that discipline and that lifestyle that it takes. But like the best athletes in the sport, the highest level of the pros, they maintain a optimized health perspective, and they don't enter a prep unless they've checked all of their blood work, they've checked their hormones, they've made sure that they are in this optimized state before they begin to cut for a show. And that is because cutting for a show, it's different from losing 100 pounds. It's different from losing 50 pounds or 25 pounds because you're currently have excess body fat on your body and you maybe don't have enough muscle.
Much more focused, much more focused at that level.
Completely different than trying to get to a healthy place. It is starting from a healthy place and then getting to a very unnaturally low level of body fat while maintaining an unnaturally high level of muscle. So it is something where you are taking it to the extreme.
Well, here's the difference. When you're trying to get healthy, you're trying to do what your body wants to do naturally. When you are healthy and you're trying to cut for a show, you are going against what your body wants to do.
Yes. Yeah.
That's the difference. It's harder to do that.
Yes, exactly. And this is kind of nuanced because we talked about this yesterday in our chat. When you're beginning your journey or when you're early in your journey and you have that 100 pounds to lose, everything feels hard, feels like the hardest thing you've ever done because you have to change your entire lifestyle.
Everything's new.
You have to change the way you're doing things. The thought processes around buying groceries, putting together meals. Maybe you're putting together meals for the first time because you've always just got convenience foods, right? It takes a lot of effort and it feels incredibly difficult to change your lifestyle in that way. That was us.
All of the things,
That was us before our
nutrition, fitness, sleep, relationships, friends, community, like all of these things. All of these things have to change.
Right. Anything you're trying to do differently than what you've done is going to feel very difficult.
Right.
But when we're getting down to the brass tacks, when you're losing 100 pounds, while it's incredibly difficult mentally to make the changes in your life and to change the lifestyle habits and to do things differently, when you implement those things, your body responds very quickly and very easily to it. The hardest part of that is the mental side. When you're taking your physique to another level, and this could also be said for athletes and performance, when you're trying to take your skills to another level, beyond what is average, the body fights back. Physically, you have resistance physically, not just mentally. Mentally, it's incredibly difficult as well. But that mental difficulty now is different. It's not that my lifestyle changes much in a prep. In fact, the lifestyle doesn't change really that much at all. It's more the physical
focus and the strictness of the lifestyle.
The physical stress I have to put on my body to force it to do something different because you have to create this stressor that your body has to respond to
Right.
to change.
Maintenance is always easier than growth. And that doesn't matter. That applies, I should say, that applies no matter where you are.
Yes.
And that's where the challenge comes in.
Maintaining
If I'm unhealthy and I'm maintaining that, that's super easy. If I want to get healthier, I have to do something more. It's going to be difficult. Where the difference is in what we're talking about is when you get to a certain point of I've put in the work, I've established the habits, I've done the things that I need to do, and now my life is better. I'm noticing the results of all of the work that I put in. Do I want to go and go through that process again to get to another level, whatever that level may be?
Yeah, may not be complete.
And I'm going to hope for most people that you say yes. The thing is, that doesn't necessarily mean, and this is where this conversation comes into play, that it has to be in the same direction or for the same thing. You may say, my initial goal was lose 100 pounds. I got to 50 and now I'm happy. That doesn't mean you have to set another goal to lose more weight. Maybe the next goal is learning a new skill, participating in a different activity, making a new friend. There's 100 other different places you could set another goal based on what you can now do in your life that you couldn't do before.
Ooh, yes.
Right? That progress opens up doors that you may not have had access to in the past.
Yes, yes.
So that's where this conversation of maybe the goal you've had isn't worth it because you've progressed, you've had growth. What's the new thing that's going to get you to do something to help yourself improve? Do you have to improve in something all of the time? No, maybe you're happy and saying, you know what? I'm good with where I am. I want to maybe my focus is now on my job.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. It doesn't mean you can maintain the health stuff.
Your health goals should be supporting your life.
Exactly.
It should be giving you back time and energy and effort that you can now put to something else. So if you've reached a level of health where now you don't have to worry about going on insulin because you've been diagnosed with type 2 diabetes, now you no longer have to worry about not being able to move and play with your kids. Now maybe your focus is playing with your kids more, right?
I just thought of something. We've said for the longest time, and this has been a big thing for me. You're on this journey for the rest of your life.
Yes.
Here's a nuance to that, a little layer under that. That doesn't mean you have to be pushing for more better health improvement the rest of your life. You're on this journey for the rest of your life. It is possible to get to a point when we talk specifically about your health journey, your physical capacity, the things you want to do with your body, to get to a point and then never progress further from there.
When it comes to your physical
When
body.
it comes to your physical, you can focus on maintenance for the rest of your life. When you think about this, how long do I have to do this? I think where a lot of people come from with that question is, how long do I have to keep pushing?
Yes.
And the answer to that is until you get where you want to be.
Yes.
That's not the same as I can then stop doing the things I've done to keep me where I am.
Right.
But it does open up the idea that once you establish a baseline, a habit that supports your lifestyle and your health, you can sit there indefinitely. Just keep doing those things. Now, obviously, we have the conversation of entropy and if you don't do anything, you're going to fall backwards. But you maintain. Maintaining means continually doing things that keep you where you're at.
That's what happens when people say, how long do I have to do this? They're wanting that old life back with the results that they've gotten from changing their life.
So,
and that doesn't work. That way.
But understanding that you can find a maintenance, keep that level of effort to maintain, but that doesn't mean you always have to push.
Yes, yes.
You can back off. It's okay to take your foot off the gas. You don't have to be accelerating all the time. You can hit cruise control.
Yep.
What that allows you to do is then focus your energy on other things to expand your life.
Yep.
And do the other things that you may want to do.
And enjoy what you've done thus far, right? So like if you're one of those people who've lost 50, 80 pounds and you're so focused on that 100 pounds and you've been battling, this is how it brings it back to the whole tug of war I've been in. You keep feeling like you're failing. You keep falling short. You're like, oh, I keep not missing my macros every day. You know, I didn't make it to the gym again. And you're just constantly beating yourself up over what you didn't do. That is exhausting. If you're 1 foot in and 1 foot out, it's exhausting. This is what I said on my Zoom call yesterday with my Academy ladies. I would rather you decide, I'm taking a week off. I'm taking 2 weeks completely off. I'm not going to track my food. I'm not going to try to hit macros. I'm not going to go to the gym. I am going to let myself do what I feel like doing for a week or two. Now, this is going to look different for different people. Some of you are going to continue doing the things you do, but just without all the stress and the pressure of tracking it.
When you can get to it, you get to it or whatever, yeah.
Others of you are going to take that as an opportunity to eat your face off, to eat everything you've not eaten, told yourself you couldn't eat all this time, to sit your butt on the couch and watch Netflix and scroll instead of moving your body at all. And actually, I think that's probably the best thing you could do for yourself.
Potentially.
You know
I can't do that.
By the end of that first week,
you're going to feel so bad.
You're going to feel so crappy that you're not even going to give it that second week. You're going to be like, how quickly can I get back to doing the things? Yeah. Because you quickly are going to notice this is not what I want. And I think it's better for you to have a week off the rails that gets you back into the mindset of why you wanted to do this in the first place and focuses you back on the habits than to have 1 foot in, 1 foot out every single day for months. Because every single day for months, battling it in your head and then not actually sticking to the plan is going to set you back. This is where stalls and plateaus that you all complain about come from. Because you're not really doing all the things 100%. But you're not. So you don't feel some kind of way one way or the other.
It feels like you're doing a lot, but you're really not.
And you're so like, I don't understand why it's not working. And you're so exhausted mentally.
Yeah.
So I say, give yourself that break and then see what you do in that week. That's going to tell you a lot too about where your head is with why you're doing what you're doing and if it's really important to you or not.
Right. And that's the key. Something will change. I guarantee this for everybody. It is a universal truth. Something will change on your journey that makes you ask the question, is it worth it? It will happen. It will happen more than once. It will happen for the rest of your life. Whatever you're doing, whether it's your fitness and health, whether it's work, whether it's a relationship, it doesn't matter. It will happen. And that is where you have to then sit at the crossroad of what is the effort required to do this? What is the reward for doing it? What is the penalty or the negative if I don't?
And why do I want it?
And why do I want it? You have to look at those things. And that's what we had this conversation.
Let's go through those three things.
Yeah, we had this conversation with you the other day.
Yeah.
And can I just say, guys, I know not a lot of dudes listen to this, but for anyone, guys or women, it doesn't really matter. Find a partner that you can talk to about these things. This is not, whether it's a friend, a spouse, a relative, whatever. It doesn't have to be someone you're married to. Somebody that you trust to have the conversation with when you're going through this. Don't figure this out by yourself.
That's the other trap we always see. I just have to figure it out. I just have to figure it out.
Don't figure this out by yourself. Okay?
But you're not actually figuring anything out.
Because we didn't talk about this, but I will say when this came up in conversation, I was sitting on the counter in the kitchen, you were talking about whatever, and then we just kind of fell into this conversation. Everything that she said in that conversation, I've been feeling in the back of my mind for months about you.
I knew you could feel the energy, right?
So I like to let her figure stuff out and kind of come out with things. And 99% of the time we end up talking about stuff, and then I can kind of voice my opinion, but I don't want to obviously just be like, hey, I noticed recently that, it doesn't work that way.
Guys, bad advice. Let her bring it up, and ladies, bring it up.
Yeah, and ladies, bring it up. Absolutely. Don't be afraid to talk about it. But yeah, so you started, we were having the conversation, and
you know what I said? I think that started it all.
yeah.
I was like, I really don't want to diet.
You're like, I'm so tired of this.
I was like, I have no interest in not eating food, like more food.
Well, you've been complaining like the week. Well, because that was Friday, it was Lent. You were like, I want to eat meat.
And that was
You were like, you were getting ready to make shrimp. And you're like, I do not want shrimp right now.
And the carnivore snacks got delivered that day. And I said to him, I'm not opening the box. I'm not even gonna, the box is still taped up. I haven't even opened it yet.
Yeah, that was it. That was what started the whole thing.
You know what? That's what got me really reflecting deeper on it was Ash Wednesday and then the first Friday of Lent happening 2 days apart, right? So it was like Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday with the start of Lent. I had been doing morning. I'd been deepening my morning prayer and reflection and adding journaling to it. And so that really has allowed me to allow things to come up in my mind and what's on my heart and then getting it on paper. And I just noticed how much I was in this 1 foot in, 1 foot battling it every day. Right. And I don't call it failure, so I wouldn't call it failing every day, but falling short of my commitment. Expectations, I like that. And
guys, it's always about expectations.
But what brought it to the forefront was the commitments I made for Lent that then I was also not holding. You're like, I really don't want to do that. This is an issue because this is not about vanity, and this is not about, my Lenten commitments this year. While I do have the food aspect of it in there, and many of you will resonate with this. Early in my journey, my journey started with a Lenten sacrifice because I never used to be able to diet. I could not stick to a diet to save my life. It was never about fat loss. When I was doing something for fat loss, I was just not going to do it.
Yeah.
So my whole journey started by giving up dairy for Lent 1 year, and that's how everything began. So the fact that this religious, spiritual commitment I made, I was falling short.
You were fighting it.
I was like, oh my gosh, now this is bleeding over into something that matters so much more to me. And, why am I battling this so much? And for me, it was the realization that it was kind of too much all at once. It was like, okay, I have this, I'm not going to eat this for Lent, I'm going to fast for Lent. But on top of that, I had macros I was trying to hit for fat loss that had my intake low. Right? And I was just like, that's what kind of started the whole process of is this really worth it to me?
And that's what we talk about too, is a lot of times the expectation, you put too much on your plate and then you get overwhelmed and it's too hard. And then you think, well, maybe I just don't want this. I can't do it. It's like, no, it's not. You just put too much on your plate. Yep. You can take something back. You can step it out. The expectation of maybe it's going to take a little longer, whatever, all of these different factors.
And this is where the reflection on what matters to you and why it matters to you, and that's where that has to come in, right? Just these last few days, discovering that, I was like, you know what matters to me more, the commitments I made for Lent were more about not allowing food to be this idol in my life and replace space that I could be giving to my relationship with God. But if I'm not eating meat on Friday and I'm limiting snacks and I'm already doing all of this, I'm going to let the macros go because it's not about fat loss right now. This sacrifice is not about fat loss. Mm-hmm. And it will make it easier for me to stick to my spiritual commitments if I'm nourishing myself. So that was just one example of
Right.
like,
So
what I
that day,
decided
it's
to
not about
choose.
macros, it's whatever. It's about this other aspect, right? And then
Yep.
however that
And
goes,
then
right?
from our discussion, I said, okay, well, now I've got some things to think about
Right.
over the next
And
couple
let's,
of weeks, over the next few weeks, month,
right.
to decide if maybe I don't compete. Maybe I stop competing.
And let's talk
or-
about where that started and what competing did for you at the beginning.
Yes.
And that's what we talk about is the goal you had in the past. And we've talked about this a lot. What got you where you are is not ever going to take you where you want to go long term.
Yes.
And
yes.
that's kind of what you're,
And where do you want to go?
and
right?
where do you
So
want to go, right?
That was
Right, because where you want to go may be different now too.
exactly.
Yeah.
So yeah, so competing, I shared this with my group yesterday as well. Started out for me, it was so, I had such a competitive drive. This is what we were talking about that he noticed as well. In the last, honestly, couple of years, I just haven't had that competitive drive like I used to. And that was, I was working a 9 to 5 job that I'd been burned out multiple times, found a spark and then got burned out again multiple times. I had discovered my passion for fitness and nutrition and started working with people after I had made my own transformation, right? So I'd already gone through my own health transformation, body transformation, before I ever started competing.
Right.
And then for me, competing at that point in time was about a new career path, a completely different life. It represented so much more than what I was trying to do with my body. It was not about getting on stage and performing in front of people, although I'm a dancer and I love that aspect of it. And we talked about that yesterday too, because since finding the Angel Competition Bikinis fashion shows, I have a blast with those. And I don't have to get competitively lean to do those.
And the energy you put into those is so much more than the energy you put into to competitions right now.
Yeah.
The excitement, and here's another reason, and I'm going to throw this in, we didn't talk about this. We talked about it a little bit, but the other aspect I think that is drawing you to the angel stuff more is because it's not just you. You're getting your ladies involved.
Yes,
And
you're right.
that smile that you just got on your face right there, that's the
So
energy.
true.
That is the energy that you're bringing to that.
Because my energy, even from the first fashion show I did to the second, third, and fourth,
Yeah.
is because I had people with me. Because you're right, I did the first one by myself, and that was meh. But it was the experience of the community of women
Yeah.
and representing all different shapes and sizes. That part inspired me and made me want to do another one.
Right.
But then when Mary Grace did the Arnold with me last year, that changed everything. And then when 2 more of my ladies did the Olympia with me, and then I've got one of our members doing Arnold with me this
And
year.
then when you
I've
tie
got
it into
2
the
more ladies
retreats and
coming
you
with
bring it,
me.
like it's a
Yes.
whole,
It's
becoming a whole thing.
different ballgame. Yeah, and that definitely. So all that to say, what competing once represented for me, establishing myself as a coach, establishing a brand, leaving my 9 to 5, creating this new lifestyle, that's all happened, right? And my initial why was my
Pro card.
clients and my community.
Right.
And I still tell them all the time, you are my why. And it was, gosh, when was it? Maybe when I opened the academy, where I started to really feel a shift of, this isn't about me anymore. It was, because that was 2024. And that was when I did Mexico. And I remember going down to Mexico, and you told me this too. Last time I competed was end of 2024 in Mexico. And I did my retreat around that show. And I was like, I could not even do the show, and this would be a massive success. It felt so good to have my ladies with me. And I cared more about them.
Their experience. You were so focused on their experience
The
that
photo
you
shoot, the
almost
house.
broke your toe, still competed, and had a blast the whole time.
Yeah. And I didn't care about placings at all. It was not about, the competitive drive wasn't there. And I told him
it was all experience based.
3 years ago, 4 almost now, in Atlantic City, was the last time I felt like I had something to prove. And
You did.
And at that stage, I showed up and showed out. And I said to Bronson, I no longer feel like I have anything to prove to anyone.
Nope.
And when that's gone, it's like, why am I pushing my body to the boundaries, to past the boundaries, to these extremes? Because, like, what's the point anymore? Right?
Yeah.
And I still have these moments, but it's moments.
It's moments.
Of wanting to see what I could really do.
And
if I really put everything into it, could I get a championship title? And
I'm going to go out on a limb and say that those moments are the remnants of who you used to be.
Ooh. Because what did you say to me yesterday?
I said
about
it's
what's
identity.
happening
I
here
think it's
is
an identity thing.
an identity shift. It truly is. Now I would, and think about it, a couple of years ago we started calling me Coach Nat, and now I've shifted from
You're welcome.
the Keto Bikini Pro to Coach Nat.
Yeah.
And where my heart is.
That persona is so different.
Where my heart is as an entrepreneur, a business owner, and a coach.
The coach identity, for the few of you who may be listening who ever get to identify as a coach and really buy into that identity, it is the most fucking awesome thing. And I can't even
this is coming
describe.
From the dude who's been a coach for like 20 years.
I cannot even describe how amazing it is to experience other people's success through the lens of a coach.
Oh my God.
To see how you change, how your connection to other people is changing their lives for the better. That is so much more fulfilling than any individual accomplishment.
And you know, now that I think about it, it was the Arnold last year, so it's been almost a year, when I think I always tell you everything, whatever I'm thinking. It was like, I was going out to the Arnold and I was like, this is so great. I have no concerns about myself, about my body, about what I'm going to look or feel like on stage, about, what my weigh-in is or any of that. And getting my period when I went out there. I was in the hospital the day before I went to the Arnold last year with a cyst rupture. It was like, whatever, like, I was there for Mary Grace. It's just...
It's a whole different mindset.
Yeah. I think you're right. I think it's the last year and a half, 2 years, I've just been peeling away this old identity and just really stepping into this. I don't want it for me anymore.
It's the first time you said it.
Yeah. I can't tell y'all, last year we had 4 ladies in the academy step on stage for the first time.
It's amazing. And that's what it's all about, being able to be a part of that process for people. Whew. If your nose wasn't running before, it will be now.
Celeste.
So,
I love this potential glow up for you. You have helped so many of us, and you can't beat that. Whew, y'all are seeing me ugly cry right now. I got Bronson tearing up too.
Well, because honestly, I'm not coaching actively right now.
Right.
So I live vicariously through you. So I feel like your success and their success, that I'm a part of that as well.
Yeah.
So in case anybody doesn't realize, when you join the academy, if you're doing anything with Coach Nat, I'm there by default.
In the background.
I'm in the background. I pop in every once in a while and I help out because I love what she's doing. I support what she's doing, and I think she's doing an amazing job.
One day he'll be on
Thank
payroll.
So yeah. And that's been since day one. I mean, yeah, you've been amazing. So in case you haven't figured out what we're talking about, her process, the things that she's dealing with right now, and this understanding of growth and how that changes her perspective, her motivations, her goals, all of the different things. I love this phrase, we learned it in our behavior change course, right? the idea of what are you ready, willing, and able to do,
Yes.
and how that changes based on the things that are going on in your life and the identity that you have and who you want to be.
And what's really important to you.
And what's really important, absolutely. All of that stuff is a part of growth. And we're going to talk about the flip side of that.
Okay.
And this is where I put in the subtitle of this thing. And there's everything we've been talking about, we're assuming that we're talking about a growth process, a progression process. This does not, everything we've talked about so far is not a license to give up because you think it's too hard.
Ooh.
What we are not doing is giving you permission to change your goals just because something was difficult. Okay? What we are trying to get you to understand is that you have to be aware, and it is okay to adjust. That does not mean giving up is an option.
And it's very context dependent.
Yes.
Right? Mary Grace shared on our call when I shared this with them that she said, I love how authentic, like how I share when I pivot, because you're not beholden to something because you shared it with somebody else, right? And we see this a lot with influencers and content creators.
The pressure that they feel for doing things a certain way because that's how they've created who their persona is online,
growth,
right? It limits everything, yeah.
I was initially going to do a prep series on my YouTube this year, and I'm like, you know what? I'm still going to do the series. I'm just not going to, it's not going to be prep. And I actually shared on my Instagram at the beginning of this prep that this year I'm prepping for life. Because the prep this year, even when I started it, I hadn't picked a show yet. I had milestones along the year. So the fashion show, I want to do one or two more of those this year. The cruise, meet stock, the events that we're doing, things like that. Because for me it was, I get a little too sedentary in my off seasons. And I wanted to make sure that I am optimized. I want to live optimally healthy. And that includes some things that I don't enjoy doing, like cardio. And in our day-to-day lives, both of us, we could be incredibly sedentary.
We are.
Sitting all day long.
We have to force ourselves to not be, yeah.
So that was the biggest thing, was moving more and finding opportunities, whether it's through structured cardio or just getting up and moving more throughout the day. That was a big thing for me. And then dialing in the nutrition, because we both get a little comfortable with the little extras.
Right, but that's for us, that's where that maintenance comes in.
Right.
Right? Like I gave up trying to be super lean years ago.
The process is not that difficult because the process is not that different.
Right.
When you do a cut, right, it's super simple. It's like, well, I'm just going to drop my fats, right? And that's the thing that I was having little hissy fits about.
Right.
I don't want to eat less than 100 grams of fat. Damn it.
Right. And I'll do some, and for me, I'm going to cut my fats out a little bit, right? I'm not going to use as much butter. I won't be eating as much bacon.
Right.
I'm going to cut back on the cheese.
And you're just not going to get French fries.
And I'm not going to get French fries for a couple months, right? Like, I get to a point where I'm like, okay, this body composition is my limit. I'll back off the things that I've been doing as far as kind of just
call them guardrails.
Yeah, there's my guardrail. I'll back off. I'll be a little more strict or focused for a period of time till I bring my composition back into something that I'm okay with. And then I kind of go about. And I have this little up and down, but I'm not going super lean and then now I'm all the way back down here doing whatever the hell I want to do, and then super lean, and then like, no. It's kind of just that maintenance little wave.
I should share too is, and this plays huge into this. We talked about set points in my call yesterday as well.
Okay.
I now maintain at a leaner place in terms of body weight on the scale and body fat percentage than I ever have before in my off seasons. So my off seasons, I used to get 10 pounds heavier than I am now. And then it was 5 pounds heavier than I am now. And now where I am here is my guardrail. So as you change and continue on your journey, if you put on a little weight, ladies, and maybe it's 5 pounds, and you're upset about 5 pounds, but you're 60 pounds down from where you started, this is a new set point. Congratulations.
What's your context you're
That's a
applying to it?
fantastic thing, right?
Right.
So why is it harder to get to the next level? Anytime you get to this plateau point of like a sticking point of where it's hard to get to the next level, your body's settling it into a new set point. That's a good thing. Right. This is a new maintenance, a new normal, and it's lower than where it was before. This is beautiful.
Right. And for me, that's exactly it. My guardrail is 200 to 205. If I see 200, I'm like, Look at my body fat percentage. Oh, it's 18%. I don't know. I don't like that. Right? Because I like to be around 190, 195. It's not a big thing. 5, 10 pounds. 205 is my max. If I hit 205, I'm done.
Yeah, you're like
that's I let that one go. I'm like, whoop, that's it. Yeah, we gotta get back down to 190.
Yep.
I used to be 245. To be able to maintain and control what I'm doing at 40 pounds lighter than I was without having to do really anything extra. To be able to say, hey, I'm at 200, I need to get back down to 190 and just
be able to
do it.
Yeah.
It's not like I need to restructure my meal plans. I don't need to start scheduling gym time. Those are already what I'm doing. So that shift,
it's a little tweak.
It's just a little blip, blip, blip. Yep. That's it. And it's done.
Yep.
So there's that.
And that's the thing where I was like, I don't think I really recognize, like, well, no wonder, of course it's going to be harder. Like, I'm sitting at 20% body fat. Like, yeah, it's harder to live. Ladies, I got to say this. You talked about this a little bit in your performance post the other day for female athletes.
Oh, God.
To my lean female athletes, you are not supposed to maintain at 14% body fat. So if you're wondering why you can't lose that last stubborn body fat, it is because you are already too lean. I know that's not what you want to hear, but your problem is not that you need to lose more body fat. In fact, many of you need to put some body fat on. You need to eat more, not less. You need to take some rest days, not move more. And I'm doing this with some ladies in my academy now, and they're already very quickly, you will start to see benefits when you take the proper recovery and you nourish yourself well. So it should be incredibly difficult for me to get to the next level from here. Duh, like light bulb moment. Of course it's difficult because I've never maintained this lean before.
Right. And you're getting to a point where, again, because we're going from a health and performance focus to
aesthetics.
I should say a health focus to a performance or aesthetics focus. And you're asking your body to do something that is beyond what it wants to do in the realm of health to get to that point.
Yes.
It's going to fight you. If you are actively engaged in fitness activities and you are eating as if you are still in weight loss, for those lean people out there who are performing exercise,
especially high
intensity, whatever it may be, you're now giving your body two different goals. Either I want to, because here's the other aspect that people don't think about when we talk about fitness. Just like in weight loss, body composition management, there is a level of physical activity that is normal and your body should be able to do
and recover from.
And then there is what a lot of people do, which is too much. You're asking your body to do more than it needs to do to maintain health.
Yes.
And that is a competing priority that is fighting against the body's natural inclination. When you tie that with also trying to eat like you're trying to be a twig, that is fighting against your body's natural inclination. You are now doing two things that are not only going against what your body needs to be healthy, they are also competing against each other. Because you can't be active and fit and perform well if you're not giving yourself the nutrition that you need. So you are cycling a process of nothing good about your health. And then wondering why you feel like crap, why you can't sleep, why you have no energy, why your hormones are messed up, all of these things.
This is the perfect segue into the moment of honesty I had with you the other day when you asked me about, why do I keep entering a prep? And I was like, you know what, I gotta be honest here. And this is why a lot of these ladies we're talking to are fighting to get this extreme level of leanness. Those people you see who have a six-pack year-round and stay lean year-round, first of all, they either don't, because it's very, very easy to post content that is not current. I once had another coach ask me, like, how are you able to post these pictures of your body all the time? I'm like, those are from like a photo shoot I did once. I have a ton of photo shoot images from the last 8 years, and I can pop one of those up anytime. That's not how I look now. And people will always be under it. You look great. Thanks. That was 5 years ago. Like, appreciate the comment, but that's not now.
So people don't understand about social media.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So number one, they may not be maintaining that year round. If they are, and this is the aha moment I had with Bronson the other day, I said, I'm letting it get to me. I see now what would currently be my new kind of demographic is women in their 40s, 50s, 60s, especially like that 50s range where they're like, they just had their transformation during, from peri to post menopause, and they're like, check it out. This is what I do. This is what I eat in a day. And they're like looking super crazy lean and pumped all the time in their live videos. So it's like they really do look like that all the time right now. I said, oh my God. And I'm letting this get in my head because as content creators, as business owners,
this is where that expectation comes from.
People want to see, and you always get a lot more engagement when you're posting yourself lean. And unfortunately, women in particular, the leaner you are, the better. Like the leanest, I'm not even gonna
unless
call
you're Danny Spiegel.
I'm not going to call them lean, skinny.
Right.
The skinny carnivore women in our community, that you all are just in the comments section, OMG, what do you do, girl? You look so good. And I'm like, no, they look very unhealthy. I would not consider that looking good, but it boggles my mind, but it's what a grand majority of the
people still are looking for skinny and not fit.
It's the heroin chic of the 80s that so many of you are still chasing. It is not it, ladies. You've got to shift your perspective. Yeah. But anyway, I digress. Where was I going with that? Oh, shoot. I had a point I wanted to make.
I don't know where you were going with that.
I had to say that, though.
You said it was something about the revelation.
Oh, that I was letting it get to me, too. Of like these women but this was the aha moment that I had. And I said to him, I'm trying to keep up with the Joneses. And think that I need to be this extreme level of lean.
Comparison.
But when I thought about one creator in particular that inspires and motivates me, right, that I realized, I'm trying to compete with that. She just had her transformation. She's 2 years into her transformation. If I look back into when I was 2 years into my transformation, I said to him, I wasn't even 100 pounds. I was 90 something pounds. I looked jacked and lean. I wouldn't consider myself jacked now when I look back at those pictures, but I looked muscular because I just didn't have body fat on my body.
Yep.
And I had some level of muscle under there. So it looked impressive.
And
there's a lot of ways you can make things look impressive online. But if you saw me in person, and my family and friends who did and who had known me when I had more weight on me, more fat on my bones, they all thought I was sick. And I didn't see it until years
Afterwards.
later when I put muscle on, when I put a little more body fat back on, and I looked healthy.
Yeah.
That I was like, oh my God, I wouldn't want to look like that now.
And this is what we see a lot in the space is people who just get started. They're a year, 2, 3 years in. They've lost a ton of weight. They're super lean. They're super small. They're super skinny. They look
feel
fantastic.
Really good right
and here's
now.
the thing.
They feel really good right now.
Because that was the goal. This is the thing. That was the goal. Until they get a little more experience and time in the process, and then they realize health, physical capacity, functional metabolism, all of these other things, building muscle, all of these other things are more important than being small. And then they start, okay, I did the same thing. When I first went carnivore, I went from, at the time, I think I was 230, right? I was in my 245 range. I started CrossFit. I went down to like 205, 210. I lost a bunch of weight and then gained a bunch of it back. And then I went carnivore. I think I was around 235, went to 165.
That is so small.
165, guys.
For a 6 foot tall dude. Yo.
Okay. I was ripped. But I was so tiny. And it took me years to get back to where, again, I hover between 190 and 205. That's my happy range, 195 to 205. It took me years to get back to that. I realized at 165, I was crap. I looked great. Pictures were good. I was ripped. I did all, it was fantastic, but it wasn't realistic for my health. It wasn't realistic for the quality of life that I wanted to have.
Yeah.
And if you are a man or a woman and you're chasing skinny, that's great. It's a goal. It'll help you develop some habits in the short term, whatever it may be. But understand that for quality of life, it's about physical capacity. It's about longevity. It's about sustainability. It's about your ability to do things, not how skinny you are.
And also, I want to say this, because y'all are going to hear these people shout from the rooftops how amazing they feel. And I felt that way too.
They feel fantastic.
You did too, because when you take junk out of your diet, so much for both of us of the initial loss was so much inflammation, right? You could see it in your face. We always say that about like how round my face was and it's so interesting because that's when I look back at the start of my journey, I was only 10 pounds heavier than I am now by scale weight.
Right.
But my body composition completely changed. So I initially lost like 30 something pounds, got under 100 pounds. And y'all, I felt amazing. And I would have told you, like, this is it. This is the way to do it. I'm so glad I didn't have social media
But you could feel better.
But I didn't know. I didn't know that, well, if I continued to do that, which to a lot of people get stuck in. To a degree I did, right? Because in 2020, when I had a massive bulimia relapse, it was likely from years of undereating. Years. Yeah. Right? And then that does something, ladies and gentlemen, to your brain as well as your body. When you are malnourished for a long period of time and you think you're nourishing well because you're like, look at how I look and I feel so good, and you feel good because of the changes you made. But, and it's the same thing, I put back on 20 pounds of muscle and some body fat. And now I couldn't imagine living on what I used to eat. Yeah. And I have numbers because I started competing, so I actually tracked things. I wasn't tracking at the beginning, but oh my God, if I went back to the beginning and I imagine and I think back to what I was eating back then, I will tell you, it was a lot of
bullshit.
Barely any protein. And that's why I was so small.
Yeah.
Right? I was eating salads with no protein, salads with berries and avocado and nuts. So had a lot of fat, but no protein.
Fat and fiber.
I wasn't eating breakfast, so I was only eating once or twice a day. And only dinner had any protein in it.
Yeah.
And then I was eating Lara bars as a snack.
I used to love Lara bars.
So it's like, oh my gosh, don't believe the hype. When you see these people, and if you see them telling you that they're eating a whole lot of food and they stay really skinny, they're not. They're not.
And or they may be eating more food, as they may be eating what they say they're eating, but they're then on the flip side of it, they're training more than they're telling you they're training.
Or they're fasting the next day.
Yeah, they're not. A majority of the stuff you're seeing on social media, if it is focused on nothing but body composition, it's probably not real. Right? And that's really how it works, guys. That's why we don't focus on body composition. It's part of what we're looking at, but we want you to be a better human being, live a better life,
we focus
be
on
healthy.
Body composition over weight, too.
Correct.
Most people are just talking about
Well, there's
weight loss.
that too, yeah. Yeah, when most people are talking about just...
Body composition is a step in the right direction.
Yeah.
But...
Yeah. In general, to sum that part of the conversation up, if you want to improve your body composition and that is your goal, then you should do the things that will help you do that. If you want to improve your health, quality of life, physical capacity, fitness, performance, etc., then you should do the things that will help you do that. Doing them both at the same time doesn't really work, right?
I would say
it's possible
at the beginning,
I'm talking about
at the beginning, but when you have a ways to go, doing both of them is doing the second is doing the first.
Thank you. That's right. If you're gotten to a point where all I've got, like, whatever, and you let me quantify that then. If you are not worried about fixing your health and you have a choice, do I want to really focus on getting lean and being this aesthetic image, or do I want to focus on my performance? And this was the context of my post the other day. If you are thinking of yourself as an athlete or a fitness enthusiast or someone who goes to the gym and works out, who's working on building their body, improving their physical capacity, you need to eat in such a way that supports that goal. That is not the same way as eating for aesthetics. Okay? Eating for aesthetics is different than eating for performance. And that's where I have a lot of people who are trying to do performance stuff and they're eating like they have 100 pounds to lose. And that doesn't work.
Yep.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
So, anywho, we just hit an hour, a little over an hour. Got questions?
Let's see. Katinista? I don't know if I'm saying your name right, but she says, I started keto adapted in 2025. I lost 70 pounds in 12 months. Woof. She says, you're the only female bodybuilder I have found who is keto. Yes. Let me think. I mean, I have some friends who are keto bodybuilders as well.
But they're not out there on... Are they influencers? Are they coaches? Are they content creators?
No. They're either clients of mine
Right.
or former clients of mine.
I don't know of any professional bodybuilder who is keto who also does content, who's out there on social media like you.
I'm trying to think if there are
I think you're the only one that I've ever seen, which is why I had to date you. It's like, I found the first one.
And then you turned me into a carnivore bodybuilder.
I got her. I got her. She's all mine. Ha ha.
Yes, yes, yes. So Catanista, check out Keto Bikini Academy if you want to learn how to build muscle, because bodybuilding is body building, not body losing. We were talking about that the other
I
day.
hate
too.
that. Yes. Bodybuilding, not body
A
losing.
lot of people get into bodybuilding, especially women, just for the weight loss aspect of it. And it's like, well, that's actually the last part of it. The grand majority of a bodybuilder's life
Is
the building part.
The building part. Yes, not the cutting part.
Let's see, you got some comments over there.
Yeah.
Do you have any questions?
No questions. Good mornings. Karen says her new goal is active retirement.
Yeah, she shifted her priorities, which I love.
Yep. Not much. We weren't on last week, and it was a last minute post this morning. So I'm going to try to post when we're going to be on a day or two ahead, but usually I don't think about it a day or two ahead.
Like Saturday, we're like, what are we talking about tomorrow?
Yeah. Okay. You see that?
There's a wellness Olympian that recently went keto.
Alexis Drury.
You need to look her up.
Yeah, look her up.
Huh.
John is asking if I'm 3 mounts a day. Yes.
Oh, you should tell everyone about what you're doing today.
Yeah, if you guys don't know, if you're not a member of my Facebook group, Gen X Performance, go join the Facebook group. We are having a free open group call today at 6 p.m. Eastern, apparently 3 p.m. Mountain Time, just to kind of hop on, meet who's in the group. It'll be the first call ever in the group. I'm trying to just kind of get people engaged, see what people are looking for and help out, get to know who's in there and build a little community around us old folks who are trying to stay in shape and be active. You're in the group, of course, but you're not Gen X.
I'm on the cusp.
I
am the Xennial.
All right, guys. Thanks for joining us again. Please don't forget to share this video or any others that we have with friends, family, and loved ones so that you can spread the gospel of the keto rehab couple, right?
I love that. Oh, there's a question.
There's a question. Daily exercises.
Wait, read the question.
I walk daily. Are there any other daily exercises that are recommended? Do you do any daily exercises? Yeah, I mean, I work out usually 5 days a week.
The question is, are you doing anything else in your week? Right? So
right, there's a bunch of stuff, yeah.
What I would highly recommend is strength training, but I wouldn't recommend doing it daily unless in certain situations, maybe you do one exercise a day or something like that. But typically, I wouldn't encourage somebody to do strength training every day, so I wouldn't call it
Maybe that's what we can do next week.
What?
Talk about how often different things should be included in a workout. Like,
a
workout programming /
regimen.
What should be included, how often, all that kind of stuff.
I like that as a topic
for next week.
Okay.
Thanks for the idea, man.
We haven't talked specifically exercise in a while.
No, we have not. And since Chris P. Bacon, that was the only question of the day.
You get keto brains.
You get keto brains. If you want to shoot either of us a message, whether it's on email, Instagram, whatever, and give us your mailing address, we will get you a bag shipped. All right? Do's and don'ts of training. Yeah, we can talk about that. You're going to get some of that, Karen. You're going to get some of that in our monthly movement videos that we're doing.
Oh, I should announce that.
For keto.
So inside the Keto Bikini Academy, Bronson is going to be joining me now monthly for live movement mastery workshops. We're going to go over a lot of form for your strength training.
Form and technique.
And let you ask questions live. So that's happening this next Saturday, the 28th. And on my YouTube, I am bringing back my live chats with Coach Nat monthly. So that is happening on Friday, the 27th. So it's the fourth Friday of every month at 4 p.m. Eastern. Easy to remember.
Nice.
So for those who are not yet, subscribe to my YouTube and turn on those notifications so you know when that's happening. Join me at Keto Bikini Secrets on YouTube.
Cool. All right, guys. Bless you, and we'll see you next week.
Bless.